let's talk about special edition books. So over the last 2 months, I think, I've been obsessed with just hunting down special editions that I really like. Normally, I really do enjoy special editions, but I feel like, especially within the last year, the special edition game has just like improved so much. Like, there are a lot of book subscriptions companies doing a lot of like beautiful stuff with their special editions. There are a lot of like special companies or like even publishing houses are just like coming up with like a lot of books with sprayed edges, beautiful like fan art inside the book, or like foiling. So I feel like we are really seeing the maybe a little bit overflow of the special editionization of books, especially when it comes to fantasy. But I'm personally not complaining. I actually really do enjoy collecting books, especially collecting special editions of books. And there are a couple editions that I really think are just like so beautiful and are really worth the price. But I will just say that this is an insane game. There are a lot of books, especially like if you know like Fairyloot, When the Moon Hatched, or Heavenly Bodies. There are like a lot of editions of Alchemized, I think. They're going for like hundreds of dollars and it's a little insane. So I generally try to find the books that I really want at a lower end of the price range. I try to just like not go bankrupt over these, but at the same time I bought a lot. Just to preface this video by saying that I bought a lot of special edition books. I especially bought a lot from like resellers, like people on Pango Books and also Mercari. I've been buying a lot of like Fairyloot editions from them, or like Owlcrate editions. Like, those are two subscriptions that I am not subscribed to. I'm still on the waitlist for Fairyloot, but I really want a Fairyloot subscription. And I personally do have the Illumicrate subscription for their adult box. So let's just start with the books. The first one I got is a little book. It's The Swan's Daughter by Roshani Chokshi, and this is, I believe, the Owlcrate romantasy or like fantasy book box selection for February 2026. No, January 2026. A lot of books, I think, a lot of book boxes really did do this for their like either February or January selection, but I think this book, Swan's Daughter, is just like so perfect. The reason why I went on Pango to just like buy this book is that I think the cover is just so beautiful. I really like the art style. I really like the girl with the red hair, and the edges are just like foiling. I normally do not see foiling on the edges, and like compared to a normal like hardback, it's a little smaller, but I think it's just like very adorable. So this is a YA fantasy that is centered around a kingdom, and then in this kingdom there are like swans. Like, people really do turn into swans, but if you fall in love, like, it means you're gonna die. So here our main character's goal is not to fall in love, and I saw a couple of reviewers saying that this was just like such a lyrical, beautiful fairy tale like book, and I feel like this is literally the vibes it gets, and I just really wanted to own this beautiful art. There are also like art on the end papers, and then foiling on the hardcover, which I think is very pretty. And then there's like an alternative dust jacket. And I believe like even a normal like traditionally published version of this book is just like so pretty, but I just really wanted to own this one. Next up, let's move to my Allurial boxes. Allurial has become a company that I really am liking. What they do is that they are like the fantasy romantasy sub book box of book of the month. And what they do is that every month you get to pick out of 3 books, and if you do not like the book that month, you can just like pass and you'll save your token. I believe like having the opportunity to choose from 3 books is like something that really draws me. And even though they're like a newer company because I think they just started doing this like last August or something like that. I think they're really stepping up their game. Like their first a couple books were not like specifically designed. There were no like cover changes. They only had like some differences when it came to like sprayed edges and stuff, but they are doing a lot of like their covers are right now like changed, so they're specifically designed for Allurial. This one is not. I think this was the February pick, The Lies That Summon the Night by Tassonja Odette, and this was my pick for February. The other two books were, one of them was Heart's Gambit and the other one was Half City. And the thing is that I really wanted to read Half City. I still really do want to read Half City, but I just really didn't like the design. I feel like if they kept the original cover, I would buy it. I think the original cover is just like splendid. It has like such a beautiful like background with the buildings and stuff and the college. So I really like the original design. I'll put it up here, but I do not like the Allurial design, so that's why I didn't choose it. I chose this one, and I really like this sprayed edges. They're a little bit on the simpler side, but I do enjoy it, and I don't mind that this cover is just like a shinier version of the normal cover, because I think this is like really pretty. And there's the map, and then the Allurial books generally do not have anything on the hardcover, but this one has this like snake-like texture, if you can see it, which I think is like cool. But yeah, with Allurial, I think their picks are great. The opportunity to choose out of 3 books is just like awesome, and then you can always like use your token to go back and buy something from the other month, so that's wonderful too. I'm trying to find my... Okay, here she is. And my January pick was A Vow in Vengeance by Jacelyn Rodriguez. And again, I'm so excited about this book. This book is about tarot magic, and after reading Arcana Academy, I think I've been really interested in the idea of using tarot cards as like a source of magic. I think that concept was like beautiful in Arcana Academy. I think that was the favorite part of the book for me. And when I learned that this book also has like tarot magic in it, I really wanted to grab it. This was my January pick, and this is I think like a custom cover. The normal cover is like pretty different, but I really like the edges with this book. I think it's just like fantastic. I really like, one thing I really like about tarot cards is that their art style, like the way you draw swords, the way you draw cups, is just like pretty unique, and I think this is very beautiful, and I really wanted to have this because of the sprayed edges. And while we're talking about Allurial and tarot magic, I already do have, I think, the Barnes & Noble like exclusive edition of Arcana Academy. That was the one I read, and it only has like gold foiled edges, and I normally do not like owning a couple copies of the same book. I think it's a little excessive. Like, I would rather buy like one beautiful copy of a book that I really like and then just like move on. Like, I don't think we should be having like 6 copies of the same book, but I don't know what happened to me. I was just like really enjoying the tarot vibes, and I bought the Allurial edition of Arcana Academy. I believe this is sold out on their website, so I bought it from Pango. And what I again really like about this is the sprayed edges and the tarot magic art style with the sword. I believe like when you put these like 2 together, they just look pretty awesome. And again, this cover is like the original cover. There are no changes to the cover, but I think the edges are just like splendid. And then I don't know what I'm doing. And I also went ahead and bought is this the Fairyloot? Yeah, the Fairyloot version of Arcana Academy. And I bought this one because the edges are like okay. They only have like cards on them. But what I really like about this book is the cover itself. I think like this really looking like a tarot card, like its face is I think splendid, and my goal is to just, if I can show it to you guys, showcase my like tarot books like this. You get the idea. Hopefully you see the vision. But yeah, it's a little excessive. I own I think 3 copies of Arcana Academy, but again, I just really like the art style. I really like the tarot concept. It wasn't like a 5-star read for me, even though like I really enjoyed this book. It was just like there were a couple of things that didn't sit right with me, but again, like the concept, the magic system itself was like absolutely beautiful, and I'm really looking forward to having the chance to read more tarot magic card based books. So I think that concludes our Allurial picks, and then I went ahead and bought the Belladonna series. This is the Fairyloot edition of the Belladonna series by Owlcrate. This is Belladonna, the first book. Wisteria, the second one. And then Foxglove. And this series this was like one of the ones that I kept looking and looking and looking. Like this was one of my like unicorn sets. I really wanted to buy this because I think like these are just like so pretty, and I normally do not buy like series. Like all the books I have are generally just the first book in the series, but this is like a completed series, and I really wanted to buy it. I kept looking on like Pango, Vinted, Markrey, like all those places, and these can be so expensive, like especially if they're selling it as a set. They're like over $100, like 160. Sometimes even like I saw a couple listings for like $300. So I was like, maybe it's gonna happen, maybe it's not gonna happen. So I've been on the hunt for these for 2 months or something. But what I did is that I actually bought the book separately. I think I bought Belladonna and Foxglove together, and then I got Wisteria from somewhere else, and that way like it was way cheaper, and I'm really glad that I have these. One thing I really like about these books and why I was really obsessed with that, I really like bunnies and foxes. Especially foxes, I think are just like such beautiful creatures, and they just look awesome so when you like have artwork. And I think like Wisteria in particular is like such a beautiful cover. I think like the sprayed edges are like nothing special. It's just like purple and then the leaves and stuff. But the cover itself is just like mesmerizing. And I really want to showcase them like this on my shelves. And I think what really sold me is that I am generally not a fan of fan art. Like I sometimes really find them to be a little childish, and I just don't really like how people look sometimes. But the end paper art in this book is just like so stunning. I feel like this is just so beautiful. And then the back is also like this. So all of them have end paper art, but the one on like Wisteria was I think what really made me want to buy it. And I actually bought Wisteria I think at 4 a.m. when I woke up, and saw that a listing for a like good price just came up. So these are my favorite editions, and I know that Fairyloot also did Holly, which is like the Christmas novella, and I couldn't get it because I think I started my like going back to book buying phase after I was done, no, after Fairyloot was done with their sale. But once people get Holly, hopefully some people will be selling it, and I will be adding that to my collection too, because that one, I'll put it up here, is I think the perfect one. Like the way the bunny and the pogs were just like hugging each other is just like adorable. I just really like that. So yeah, these are my Fairyloot Belladonna series. Next up we have The Half King by Melissa Landers, also a Fairyloot edition. I have no idea why I bought this book, I'm not gonna lie. Again, I saw this book when I was looking through like Mercury, and then I just really found the cover to be amazing. Purple is my favorite color, and I think this is just like such a beautiful edition, especially the sprayed edges are just like insane. And again, I think what really sold me was the end paper art. This is insane. I believe this is insane. Like, it doesn't get better than this. Like, that art is just like so beautiful. The end paper art here, and then this is what the hardcover looks like. It's a little damaged here, but we'll survive. So yeah, I really wanted to buy this because of the end papers. I think this is just like so stunning. Really like the sprayed edges, and I know that this is a story about, is this YA? Does it say? I'm not sure. Maybe it's not. It's probably not. But I know that this is about like a prince, and then the prince is cursed, so he is always like a shadow, and he cannot like physically materialize, if that makes sense. And I really find the concept of like someone being like shadow personified or like death personified to be really interesting. So that really got me interested in this book. And then I bought this book again when I was sleeping. I was like sleeping, and then I woke up to a notification from like Pango being like, hey, this book you had in your cart is on sale. And I was like, should I buy it? Should I not buy it? And then I remember like checking the end paper art and then being like, yep, we're gonna get it. So we also got that. Next up, we have my Illumicrate January subscription book. This is the only subscription. No, this is a lie, not anymore. But Illumicrate was the only subscription I had for a very long time. I generally do skip them sometimes, but I was really looking forward to Point Empress because I know that After Blossom art is someone that I really like. Their art is, I think, like so beautiful. I'm actually like, trying to collect all the books that they're doing, and I know that like she did the original art cover art for this book, and I was like really looking forward to see what Illumicrate was gonna do with it. And this is the Poet Empress. The cover is just like so beautiful. Like everything about this book is like so beautiful, even though like I'm not a huge fan of like orange and stuff. I think it looks beautiful with the dragon, and then the naked hardcover is like this, and then we have the end paper art. So even though like this is a little different from the style I normally prefer, I really like whimsical, like fairy tale-ish books. I think this is just like fantastic, and I think it really shows the story in a good way. This is a book about, this is an adult fantasy about a girl who is really struggling. Her family members are like getting sick. She is like the sole provider of that family, and she's just like really trying to make it out there. And then there's this rebellion going on against the empire and the dynasty. So she goes to the king. Is that, I think he is like I don't know, the head of the empire, and then like the royal household. She goes to the royal palace as a concubine, and then there she learns how to write poems. But essentially in this world, women are forbidden from like learning how to write and read. So she's just like learning that, and how you do magic in this world is just through poems. Like you create poems, and that's like the magic system, which I believe is like so interesting. I really like stories and magical systems that are based on like language and language learning. So I think it's gonna be a fantastic read. I already saw a couple of reviewers really liking this book, so I'm looking forward to that. And this is my beautiful Illumicrate edition. And then next up we have 3 books that are not like special editions. They're like normal editions you can buy at Barnes & Noble, but they're just like so pretty. They really look like special editions, so I'm just gonna be showcasing them here. First up we have Bridget Cameras Warrior Princess Assassin. Barnes and Noble was having their like 50% off sale, as you can see, and I thought, why not? These are the sprayed edges. There's nothing special going on underneath. The end papers are just like this marble thingy, but I really want to read it, so we have this book. I believe this book is about a warrior, a princess, and an assassin, and I didn't know about this when I was buying this, but apparently this is like a why choose situation, and it's gonna be my like first time reading something like that, so we'll see if I'm gonna like it or not. And then we have Fallon Ballard's Something Wicked, also from Barnes & Noble. The standard edition is just like so beautiful. I really like this cover. Really like the art style. The sprayed edges are, I think, insane. They look insane. I always like the little sprayed edge with a sword. Love a good sword. I think this just looks beautiful. And this is like a book kind of inspired by Moulin Rouge. I really like Moulin Rouge. So sad that it's actually closing on Broadway. If you know, you know. But I really like Moulin Rouge, so I was just very intrigued to see. This is again, I think, another like concubine situation, but I'm really excited to read about this one. And lastly, we have Hollow by the Twisted Sisters by Carolina Packham and Suzanne Valenti. So I never read anything by them. I know about Zodiac Academy and the other like spin-off series, but I never read Zodiac Academy or anything by them, so I really want to see what the hype is. And I've seen a lot of reviewers being like, this was my favorite book of like 2025, and I think like this came out around the last month of like 2025, or like either December or like November. And I believe this is like a normal edition, but it's so beautiful. Like the dragon, the blue dragon, is I think insane, but also like the cover itself is just so beautiful, and I'm really looking forward to reading this one too. So yeah, as you can see, I bought a lot of books. I am a little guilty of buying a lot of special editions books, but what can I say? They're just like so beautiful. Like all of these are just my pride and joy, and I'm so happy I have them. And hope you enjoyed this video.